live from Studio 46, this is Good Morning Union Canal.
Good morning, Union Canal. Place where we show respect, show responsibility, show safety, and do our job. Please rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag. And now, let's say our Union Canal Creed. Today is a new day to reach my potential. All right, you may be seated. And now, let's get literate.
Zeus!
All right. Wow. I'm not going to miss putting this costume on. Hey, but you know what? You don't have to take my word for it. All right. Little reading rainbow in there for you 1990s TV lovers. All right. Well, good morning. Today is Friday, March 4th. Because of March. No, that's funny. 2022. It is day 4 on the special schedule. The answer this morning given by me. Well, today's lunch is Big Daddy's Cheese Pizza. Now, normally this is where Big Daddy be joining us, but actually Big Daddy, well, he's pretty busy right now because he recently, it's Read Across America Week, right? He just released his own book. My gosh, I can't believe this. He's a published author, okay? And he actually made, it's a take on green eggs and ham. It's his own book. It's called Green Eggs and Ham that Chef Tony made because they're moldy. And actually, I'd like to read a little excerpt here for you. This is Big Daddy's new book. It says, I do not like Chef Tony's food. I do not like it. It's no good. It should be thrown into a can. It should be thrown at that mustached man. It makes me think of mold and spots. It makes me think of porta pots. It's like a toilet that is full. It's like a new Uncrustable. I do not like Chef Tony's food. I do not like it. It's not good. Wow. Big Daddy, what an author you've become. Okay, I think this could be a huge seller, and that is probably one of the rudest books I've ever read.
Hey!
Whoa, hey! Everybody, look, it's Big Daddy's sister, it's Big Mama! Hey, I haven't seen you for a long time. Big Mama, what are you doing here?
Chef Tony's pizza is better because, Big Daddy? No. He's right over there watching TV. He's in the shop watching just TV. Chef Tony, mwah! Mwah!
Oh, jeez. She is not very happy. You're not very happy with Big Daddy. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, Big Mama.
Ciao!
All right. Well, there's also fresh broccoli dunkers.
My lady, she went downtown. She bought some broccoli. She brought it home. She's chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. Chopping broccoli. She chopped broccoli. She chopped broccoli.
All right, and because it's Friday, really, at this point, who really cares how long we're going to go to today's episode? There's also, I'm excited, 100% juice slush. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Oh yeah, this is what I live for, guys. I love 100% juice slush. Do you guys love it? Let's find out here. Oh, we go.
First you get a lot of berries and you squeeze them in. Then 4 cups of sugar gets added in. 100% juice slush. From the back of the freezer gotta chip away. That big chunk of ice has been there since May. 100% juice slush.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, that was it. Guys, did you like my new sunglasses? I love these because actually, the last time I filmed this, I actually lost my prescription sunglasses. Wow. So, if you see prescription sunglasses out there, I need them back, please. I miss them. They were expensive. Okay. It's also fresh fruit and vegetable bar and milk. On the salad bar is a muffin meal. I'm not going to say anything else. You know about the muffin meal, okay? You know you can get 1, you can get 2, you can get 3, you can get 4, you can get 5 muffins. I don't know. But go get one. Or don't. Get whatever you want. Just eat lunch, okay? Why would I care? I don't care. Come on, guys. We would like to wish happy birthday for today to Harper Schoen and for over the weekend to Alex Pierce, Gavin Schellenberger, and Trayvon Coutinho. Happy birthday, all you kids. I'd also like to welcome all of our guest teachers who are with us today. Well, today's top stories, guys, it is a Read Across America 3.5 weeks here on Good Morning Union Canal. That's right, so stay tuned because after today's episode, we have a very special guest reader, handpicked by our Read Across America team, who's going to read for you the next chapter of that lovable book, The World According to Humphrey. Oh, it's by Betty G. Burney. Oh, I bet she had a hamster growing up. It's everyone's favorite classroom pet. This is such a whimsical book of whimsy, wouldn't you say? Actually, you know, on a side note, completely unrelated to the book, I did want to say to you guys that if you're eating breakfast in the morning, like if you're eating your breakfast food, please make sure that what you don't eat gets thrown into the garbage and then it gets tied up. We don't want any loose food lying around. Not because there's a loose hamster in the school, guys. No, this is unrelated to that. Okay, this is completely aside from that. Okay. Also, if you could all just maybe check inside your desks, like all the way to the back, and just look around and make sure there's nothing, I don't know, like fuzzy and you know, that squeaks and looks like a hamster inside your desk. That'd be great. And if you find something that looks like a hamster, then if you could tell your teacher that would also be very helpful for my job security. Okay. So yeah, anyway, it's gonna be fun today reading this World According to Humphrey book.
We are aliens.
Oh! Well, hey there, Zeep, Zoop, and Debbie.
Zeep Zoop, he sounds like he's upset with us.
Are you upset with us, Mr. B?
Yeah, you know what? I am a little bit upset, actually, now that you mention it. Last time you guys were here, you had the Ice Zord zap me down to Mr. McGinty's office. Nobody wants to go there.
Well, too bad. We don't care. Isn't that right, Zeep Zoop?
Yes, Debbie. We do not care. We only care about books and book fairs.
Oh, well, well, in that case, you guys actually came at the perfect time then, because it's actually Read Across America 3.5 weeks here, you know.
Yes, we are. Isn't that right, Zeep Zoop?
Yes, Debbie. In fact, we are so aware that we wanted to learn more about this country that you call America. So we abducted a bunch of students and flew them around the country in our spaceship and had them show us some of their favorite locations while they read a book.
Now, Zeep, Zoop, and Debbie, you really shouldn't go around abducting children.
Oh, the children seemed quite happy to be abducted.
Yes, we abducted them during what you Earthlings call Eureka Math.
Oh, okay. I guess I can see why they'd be happy to be abducted during that time.
Yes, and we also took pictures of our trip with our space camera. Would you like to see the pictures from our trip around America?
Oh, well, yeah, sure, why not?
Roll it? Yes, roll it.
Well, thanks for showing all your pictures there, Zeep, Zoop, and Debbie.
You're welcome. And now that we've been all around your country, we need to plan for the final invasion.
Oh, okay. Wait, final invasion?
Do not be worried. It is just a figure of speech. Isn't that right, Zeep Zoop? Yes, Debbie, a figure of speech.
I know the shifty eyes means something different in their language, but that still makes me nervous. All right, well, in other news, congratulations to Mrs. Wensky's second grade class. They earned the Most Wonderful Class Awards for the month of February. And now, let's head down live for reactions. All right, well, in PTT fundraiser news, attention all students, guys, get your taste buds ready because the PTT is having a fundraiser. We're going to be selling the world's finest chocolate.
Whoa, Godiva chocolate. I love Godiva chocolate.
Oh, Owen. No, Owen. It's not Godiva chocolate. No, we're not. It's. Do you pay attention to the show? No, it's the world's finest chocolate.
But wait, isn't Godiva chocolate the world's finest chocolate?
No, Owen. Okay, you're confused. Owen, Godiva is very fine chocolate, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about literally a company that's called the world's finest chocolate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been over this like the entire week, so just if you pay attention a little bit more, that'd be great. Okay, so in any event, the PTT.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Now what, Owen?
Well, what makes this the world's finest chocolate?
Look,
Did it, like, win a contest?
No, I don't think it did.
Does it have any special ingredients or something?
No, it doesn't use any other ingredients. It just uses, like, sugar and stuff like that.
So you mean to say it's the world's finest chocolate because it's called the world's finest chocolate?
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Well, if that works, then I'm the world's finest first grader.
Okay. Those sunglasses are getting a lot of use today. All right, well, in any event, guys, it's another chocolate day. It's another chocolate day, and guys, I have a really sneak peek here. Some of the things you can get. We can talk about some of this stuff for the world's finest chocolate. What are some of the things you can get? Well, let's take a look here. Well, for one, you get the random fidget and the kung fu coop, and for number two, let me think before I say it, a kung fu flying chicken. Here he is. Oh yeah, he flies apparently. Let's see how well he flies. Oh! I think he died. Okay, well, there you have it. Kung Fu Flying Chicken. I'm glad I said that right. What about 3 boxes? How about A Galaxy Glow flying disc. I should have given this to Zeep, Zoop, and Debbie. This thing, when you take it out of the box, it lights up. I'm just going to throw... Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that didn't hit the chicken. That's good. What about 4 boxes? Okay, well, what about a light-up ball drone? Do I have that? I don't think I have that. Imagine... Wow, there it goes. Isn't that amazing? Okay, how about... what if you sell 6 boxes? Okay, what about 6... Well, you could actually get... No, you can't get that. That's the wrong thing. You can get a mini LED stunt drone. Look, that's a mini LED stunt drone. Ooh, it's... Oh, whoa! I am having fun. I'd probably have more fun if it was out of the box. Whoa, it flew! There it goes. Oh, if you're the top seller, if you sell 10 boxes or more, okay. Big prizes, guys. How about an Echo Dot? Hey, you want your information to be in the hands of Amazon? Get one of these, okay? Hey, Alexa, play today's top hits. Alexa, store my bank routing information for the whole world to have, okay? You can do all those and more, okay? Oh, you want something different? Okay, how about this? A remote control robot. Yeah! Oh, yeah. Look, come on. Look at him go. This guy's awesome. 3, I love him. I love him. This is what you want. You want this. This is not going to steal. This might choke you, but it's not going to steal your information, okay? I've had bad experience with robots, but other people have bad experience with the Amazon Echo Dot. Okay, so that's really fun. Those are some fun things you can get if you're selling the world's finest chocolate. So make sure you're selling all that chocolate and make sure you're, well, I guess selling the chocolate. That's really all I have to say. Okay. Well, in Wizard of Oz, the essential students follow the Olympic Road to Syracuse High School tonight because the Wizard of Oz is opening at Syracuse High School. The spring musical production of the Wizard of Oz opening tonight. Tickets are available at the door, or you can get them online before you go. Either way is fine. And if you go, guys, there are actually some familiar faces involved in this show. That's right, including our very own resident pumpkin spice expert, Dr. Campbell, who is a pit conductor.
Hey, bro. Who are you calling a pit conductor?
Well, I'm calling you a pit conductor, Dr. Campbell, because you are. That's what you do in the show. You conduct the pit.
Oh. Right. I am the pit conductor.
Wait, this isn't a pumpkin spice cooking class? Jeez.
Right. Why does everyone get so upset by this? In any event, go see The Wizard of Oz, opening tonight at Syracuse High School. And now, let's over to Miss Getz with the weather. Miss Getz.
Good morning, EC. It's Miss Getz here. I'm reading a book about electricity, and what I heard is that lightning is electricity in the air. But guess what? Tomorrow, we're not going to have any of that. It is not going to do any of this in the sky. Make it a great one, EC.
Well, thanks, Miss Getz. Well, for me, and the dancing robot. Oh, yeah. Come on. Look at it. Here at Good Morning Union Canal, I am Mr. Branson, reminding you to lucky, and have a great day and a great weekend. Oh, and stay tuned because we got a special guest reader coming up for The World According to Humphrey. Right after this episode, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to read ahead a little bit. I want to get a sneak peek what's going to happen here. Oh, look at that. Can't believe it. Let's find out what's going on here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm getting real sick of this. I swear it was here somewhere. Yeah. Where the heck did it come from?
Hi, boys and girls. Are you enjoying reading the story, The World According to Humphrey? We ended in chapter 3 where Humphrey was getting worried because it was going to be the weekend and Mrs. Mack isn't there. What's going to happen to him? Who's going to feed him? Who's going to take care of his cage? Uh-oh. This chapter is chapter 4. It's called The Most Important Man in the World. Luckily, Friday went by smoothly. Sorry to say, Saya didn't raise her hand, but Heidi Hopper did. Amazing! AJ actually whispered. Richie cleaned my cage. I tried to imagine him with a big black mustache like his Uncle Aldo. Later, when Mrs. Brisbane asked him to name the capital of Kentucky, Richie said, "Hot dog!" Everyone giggled, of course, especially Stop Giggling Gail, otherwise known as Gail Morgenstern. "Repeat that, please, Richie," said the teacher. Richie realized he'd made a mistake, so he tried again. "Frankfurter," he said. More giggles. Explosive giggles. Try again, Try again, Richie, said Mrs. Brisbane, who was on the verge of smiling herself. Frankfurt? He said proudly. That was the correct answer, by the way. So you see, it wasn't exactly a bad day in room 26. It's just that I was jittery, wondering what would happen to me when the bell rang. Would I be left alone, hungry, utterly forsaken for 2 whole days? Or would I be a captive in the haunted house of Mrs. Brisbane? At last the bell rang and the students flew out of the door like a flock of homing pigeons in a movie. Mrs. Mack showed us. Just then the room mother stopped by. One was Heidi Hopper's mom, and the other was Art Patel's. That's pay attention, Art. They came to talk to Mrs. Brisbane about Halloween, which was less than 2 weeks away. I don't know what Halloween was, but it sure sounded scary. Especially when they started talking about bringing bats and witches, and even worse, cats, right into the classroom. Shiver, quiver, shake! What could they be thinking? I was about ready to fling open the door of my cage and escape when the door opened and in walked the principal, Mr. Morales. Mr. Morales is the most important person at Longfellow School. He runs the place and everyone respects him. You can tell. For one thing, Mr. Morales always wears a tie. No one else in the whole school wears a tie except Mr. Morales. For another thing, when Mr. Morales comes into the room, everyone stops what they're doing and waits to see what he has to say. And for a third thing, both Mrs. Mack and Mrs. Brisbane sometimes threatened to send a misbehaving student to Mr. Morales' office. As soon as the teacher mentioned the principal's name, the student would start acting very, very nice. "Good afternoon, ladies," said Mr. Morales. He was wearing a light blue shirt and a tie that had tiny books all over it. Everyone said, "Hello." "How was your first week back, Sue?" he asked. Sue was apparently Mrs. Brisbane, although I'd never actually thought of her having a first name before. She said it was great to be back and what a wonderful class it was, which obviously pleased the room mothers. Then Mr. Morales leaned over my cage and he smiled. His tie dangled right over my head. "I'll bet you're enjoying this furry little pupil," he said with a grin. I expected Mrs. Brisbane to tell him what a troublemaking rodent I was, but instead she forced a smile and said, "Well, yes, but he's quite a bit of extra work." Mr. Morales waved a finger at me. He didn't seem to hear what Mrs. Brisbane said. I always wanted one of these fellows, he said, but my papa wouldn't let me have one. Sure is cute. Mrs. Brisbane cleared her throat. Yes, but I'm afraid he's a little distracting. I was going to see if Mr. Kim in room 12 wants him. I was shocked. Luckily, so were the room mothers. Oh, no. The children just love Humphrey, said Mrs. Patel. Heidi talks about him all the time. And it's a wonderful way to teach the kids responsibility, Mrs. Hopper said. Yes, but it's a little too much responsibility for me, Mrs. Brisbane sighed. At least I have a couple of days away from him this weekend. You're not taking him home with you? Asked Mrs. Patel. Mrs. Brisbane backed away from the cage. Oh no, it's out of the question. But Mrs. Mack always took him home, said Mrs. Hopper. He'll be fine. He has plenty of food, Mrs. Brisbane answered very, very firmly. The room mothers were silent a second. Mr. Morales was still wiggling his finger at me. Then Mrs. Hopper spoke up. Why don't the kids take turns bringing Humphrey home for the weekend? They can sign up. We'll talk to their parents and give them instructions. It will be a great experience. Some people might not want him, said Mrs. Brisbane. Squeak for yourself, Mrs. Brisbane. That's fine, said Mrs. Hopper. There'll be plenty who will. I think it's great, Mrs. Patel agreed. I'd take him today, but we're going up to the lake for the weekend. Oh, I'd take him too, said Mrs. Hopper. But we're painting the house and the place is a mess. Next week for sure. Yes, I could do it next week, Mrs. Patel agreed. Mrs. Brisbane smiled a fake smile. So who's going to take him this weekend? The room mothers looked at each other. I could make a few quick calls. Maybe they're Rinaldi's, said Mrs. Patel. Call, I squeaked. Suddenly, Mr. Morales stood up straight. I have a better idea, he announced. I'll take Humphrey home for the weekend. My kids will love him. Then starting next week, you can have the students take turns. The women were almost as surprised as I was. Don't worry, he'll be in good hands, Mr. Morales assured them. Well, I guess I would be. After all, I was going home with the most important person at Longfellow School. As he drove me to his house, Mr. Morales told me how he'd always wanted a hamster when he was a kid. But his dad always said they didn't need another mouth to feed. I argued with him, Humphrey. I said, Papa, I will feed him off my own plate. Then Papa said we'd have to buy the cage and stuff to put in it. I guess he was right, Humphrey. We couldn't afford it. He smiled his big smile, but not anymore. Now I'm the principal of my own school. I told you he was important. His house was nice, but I didn't get to see too much of it, because as soon as we came in the door, 2 little whirlwinds tumbled into the room, shrieking and squealing. Quiet down now. You'll frighten the little fella, Mr. Morales told them. He got that right. He introduced us. The little boy, who was about 5, was named Willie. He kept poking his fingers through the wires of the cage. I was about to bite him. Pure instinct, but then I remembered. This is the son of the most important person at Longfellow School. So I didn't. The little girl, who was about 7, was named Brenda. She kept sticking her face up against the cage and squealing. I tried squeaking back at her, but I don't think she could hear me. Mr. Morales tried to quiet them down. He explained that I was a guest for the weekend and they had to treat me with respect. They didn't listen. A pretty lady rushed through the room, jingling her car keys. "I'm late. I have a house to show." She glanced in my direction. "We'll talk about that later. Adios." Mr. Morales wished her luck and was gone. Then he carried me into the den with Willie and Brenda clinging to his legs and yelping. My cage was swinging back and forth so much I was getting airsick or cage sick. Mr. Morales set my cage on a table in their family room. "Now get back and listen to me," he told his children. "I'll tell you all about him." "Can we take him out?" screamed Willie. "Can we put him in my room?" shouted Brenda. "Can he sleep with me tonight?" "We can't do anything until you settle down," Mr. Morales said. Bravo, Mr. Morales, I thought. But still, the children didn't listen. The most important person at Longfellow School was not treated with respect in his own house. Willie lurched forward and swung open the cage door. "Ew! There's poo in there," he screamed. Where? Shrieked Brenda. Willie pointed to my potty corner, which I thought was unsqueakably rude of him. "I want to hold him," said Brenda, grabbing me. She squeezed me so hard I let out a squeal. "Stop," said Mr. Morales. "Put him back right now." She opened her hand and dropped me onto the floor of my cage. Luckily, I landed in a pile of soft bedding. Luckily, I didn't land in my poo. I was a little dizzy, but I heard Mr. Morales send Willie and Brenda to their rooms. "I will not allow you to mistreat any animal. Upstairs, door shut, no playing until I say you can," he said. Suddenly, Mr. Morales didn't look so important. He slumped down in the chair next to my cage, and he loosened his tie. "Now you know my secret, Humphrey. At school, everybody listens to me. At home, nobody listens to me." Mr. Morales looked tired. Above our heads came the sounds of thumping and bumping. It sounded as if the ceiling was about to fall in. "They're bouncing on their beds, Humphrey. Not supposed to do that either," he said. He slowly rose, went to the stairway in the hall. "Willie! Brenda! Stop that now!" he yelled. Surprisingly, the thumping and bumping stopped. "They listened," I squeaked when the principal sat down again. But the thumping and bumping began again in a minute. "I wish I knew what to do," he said. "Some way to teach them a lesson." I nodded. A lesson is just what those children needed. And I was just the hamster to teach them. Tip 4. Never, ever squeeze, pinch, or crush a hamster. If it runs away, squeals, or mutters, leave the hamster alone. From the Guide to Care and Feeding of Hamsters, Dr. Harvey H. Hammer. I wonder what lesson Humphrey is going to teach those children. What do you think? Thank you for inviting me into your classroom. I enjoyed reading with you. Have a great day.